Hi, Maria here. Welcome to my channel. Today, I thought I would do some real talk. So every once in a while, I want to forego the perfumes. I want to chat with you guys about real issues, woman issues, whatever, people issues. So I hope that you watch. I hope that you enjoy. Let me know what you think of this kind of content. Just want to do it once in a while. But anyway, if you haven't subscribed, just go ahead and hit that button. Join the weird and wonderful family. I would love to have you part of the community. And without further ado, let's get into this. So since having COVID, I didn't know that this was a thing, but for some people, they lose their hair. I don't know if it's the stress of having COVID or what the deal is. Mine was pretty stressful. I ended up in the hospital. And so 3 months in, I started shedding. And I'm talking copious amounts. Like, I'm talking my whole shirt being covered in hair, the back of my shirt being covered in hair, my sister thinking to herself, what's going on? Does she never clean off her shirt? And not saying anything, and then me going, I think that I'm losing all my hair. I go to the hairdresser and she goes, Maria, your hair is so thin. I think you need to see a dermatologist. Like, you've lost so much. Like, I can't even believe it. It's so thin in front, I can't believe it. Like, and I don't know if you can see how far back it goes. Like, it went back far before, but now, like, seriously, I've lost so much hair. So I got it cut with some layers and stuff like that, but I just felt like, oh, I was feeling so ugly and my hair was so dry looking and I felt like it looked like mousy feathers and just really struggling. So it made me think about kind of all women and how they struggle with, it can be anything. Like, they could struggle with their body weight, their appearance. They could feel insecure and shy, and like, there's so many things that we can be insecure about. And so I wanted to talk to you guys today about a few things that helped me to take risks. Because when we feel insecure, we don't take risks and life isn't as rich. And I want you guys to have rich lives. I want you guys to realize dreams that you have. And we can't do that if we stay all bottled up, focused on our negative attributes. So first thing I want to say is, you know, it doesn't matter what you're insecure about. It's yours and it's something that you're holding on to. It doesn't matter if it's shallow. It really doesn't matter. It's something that's going to impede you. We're insecure about all sorts of things. Mainly they're shallow things, but whatever. We can get down on ourselves so easily. So I just wanted to share with you that I wanted to tell you that I feel insecure these days about my hair. And what people see on a screen is different than how I feel. What people see on a screen is different than what I experience. And same thing for all of you guys. So you might be able to put on a good front, but what's going on inside you internally in your heart? That's what I want to talk about today. So my first tip for you is to view yourself with a soft focus. Now, when I first decided to make content for YouTube, I remember I did a whole entire video because I wanted to try it out. So did a whole entire video, did my makeup, talked on camera, and then I watched it back. And I remember thinking to myself, you can't put videos on, like, you are too ugly. You have a double chin. I was self-conscious about my double chin. I was self-conscious that I have dark fillings in my mouth. Self-conscious about the fact that I have a droopy eye. I didn't like the way I talked on camera. My makeup wasn't good enough. On and on the list went. But I really wanted to do videos. So then I'm like, well, what am I going to do? Ugh. So I chose to back up my focus. A lot of times we look at ourselves with this microscope and we see every single solitary negative flaw. We see the negative flaws on our person. We see the negative flaws in the things that we present to others, in our gifts and talents, and we see all the negative flaws in ourselves. Like, so all my, like, I'm impatient, I'm this, I'm that. All of those things I see with a laser focus. So what I chose to start doing, and it made a huge difference even in how I loved myself, was to soften that focus. So am I bringing something of quality? I looked at my persona and bringing cheer and smiling and laughing and all those different things, and I just stopped focusing on all the negative. Now, that doesn't mean that at some point, a negative comes up that we need to work on. So there's some things that we can't control. Like, I could go get all the silver removed from my mouth, but that would cost a fortune, and I'm scared of dentists. So not going to happen. I could get surgery for my eye, but really? Like, no, I'm not going to put myself through that. Could I deal with my double chin? Oh yeah, like I can lose weight. So maybe something like that'll come up, or more likely with me, it'll be something to do with my, who I am as a person. So I can be, I can get really stressed out because I want to control everything, or I can get really impatient. And so that's something that God's been showing me. It's kind of come to the surface. And so I feel like it's time for me to deal with some of those things. And so there'll be things that come up that are negative about me, and I'm not going to get all down on myself, but I'm going to go, okay, it's time for me to deal with this. And because I've soft focused in how I look at myself, and I'm loving myself more and accepting myself more just as I am, including the flaws, when something comes to the forefront that I need to work on, it's a lot easier. I don't deny it. I'm like, yeah, this is an issue. Okay, let's work on it. And I begin to work on it. So that's number one, is soft focus how you view your flaws and start to accept yourself for who you are, like flaws and all. Second is I stopped, or for the most part, I try to stop comparing myself to others. Singing was one of my major things throughout my life. And the bottom line is that there's always going to be a better singer than me. You know, I might be the best in my little circle, and then I go to a bigger circle and there's someone better. I might be pretty in my little circle and I get somewhere else and I might be not quite as pretty in a larger circle. I might be the smartest person in my class, but I get to a bigger class and I'm not the smartest anymore. The reality is that we'll never be the in anything, because there's always going to be someone that's going to be better, smarter, prettier, more successful. All of that stuff, comparing isn't going to benefit me. So as soon as I realized that I can't be perfect, like none of us can. We can't be perfect. We're human beings. One of the things that kind of makes us us is the fact that we're flawed. We're not perfect, and that's okay. So when I stopped doing that and then instead went, okay, God, who did you make me to be? Like, I want to be the best version of me that I can. So what are the giftings and talents that I've been blessed with? And what am I doing with it? How can I take risks to be the best version of me possible rather than trying to be someone else? Because I'll never be able to be like anybody else. Ever, and neither will you. So for example, let's say this perfume bottle, which is like kind of sexy and intoxicating and slightly like dark, woody, that kind of thing. It's the best version of itself, but it wants to be Florence, and Florence is sweet, juicy, vivacious, outgoing. This one is deep and intoxicating. If it spends all of its time wishing to be this, it will never be satisfied. So I really think it's important as human beings that we take stock of what we've been given as talents. What is it that God has made you good at? Whatever that is, and that you be the best version of that possible. you know, and it's not just our giftings and talents, but then even more importantly is how we treat others, how we love. Are we experiencing joy? Are we experiencing peace? You know, do we serve, or are we all about ourselves? Looking at those things and beginning to hone and cultivate them to be the best version of me possible. Like, why would you be insecure then? Stop trying to be perfect. Stop trying to be someone else. Be you, because you are spectacular. You were made with a purpose in mind. You were made with specific giftings and talents and insights that the world needs, that we need. So your best version of yourself is the best that you can be, not trying to be like anyone else. I will never compare myself to some skinny, beautiful model, because I've never been that. That's not who I'm made to be. So if I can stop wanting to attain something that is obviously not what I was created for, I can actually enjoy being me. And they can't ever be me, and they could never be a better version of me. I hope that makes sense. The last thing that I want to say that I think is so important, and it kind of fits and flows into what I was saying, is recognize your value. You, like I said, are the best version of you. And so in that, soft focus on your flaws, and you know, when they come up, deal with them, but laser focus on your strengths. What are you good at? What are you supposed to, what's your destiny? What are those dreams in your heart that you haven't realized because you went, that's stupid. I can't do it. What are those things that you're really, really good at that society is just waiting for you to contribute? I want to encourage you to focus on those, laser focus on those strengths and hone them. Get even better at them. Get to the place where you want to risk and give that to the world around you. So I hope that makes sense. It's just my little pep talk. It's a pep talk for me too, because I can get focused like, The bottom line is that we all struggle with insecurities. We all struggle with stuff that's, you know, just hard every once in a while. I guess that's the other thing. Cut yourself some slack. Like, I cut myself some slack when I feel insecure. Like, if I feel insecure, you know, I kind of work through it and figure out, okay, why am I feeling this way? What's making me feel this way? What should I do about that? And a lot of times for me, like with my hair, I just went, okay, well, God, you know, like, what's the worst thing that happens? All of it falls out and I wear a wig. You know, there's much worse things. Or it grows back. Like, so I just try to kind of calm down and go, okay, well, God, you know, help me deal with this. So I invite God in whenever I feel crappy about something. So maybe it's something as superficial as my hair, which to me is still legitimate, or maybe it's something that's a little bit bigger deal, like I just feel really scared of being rejected or different stuff like that. Cut yourself some slack, and you know, like, I think the biggest thing is admit it. Like, admit it, yeah, I struggle with this. And then you can begin to deal with it. So I want you guys to know, like, we're women. I want you to know that in your insecurity, you're not alone. We all feel insecure. And especially with the world being so social media focused, we see the best versions of everybody. We see great lighting, we see people happy, we see their fanciest everything. And sometimes even that, like, it's easy to begin to compare. But I want you to know that you are so awesome, and that you have a purpose, and that you bring so much to the table that we need. You just have to figure out what that is. If you don't know what it is yet, that's okay. You can figure it out, but start loving yourself. Start recognizing your strengths and soft focusing on your flaws, because you're awesome. Like, you're awesome. You're precious. We're precious. You are precious. You are valuable. You're a treasure. And so regardless of what you're experiencing, start to, I guess that would be the last thing. Start speaking great things over yourself. So for a long time, I hated myself. And I'd look in the mirror and the only thing I'd think is, you stupid bitch. Honestly, that was what I thought. Those were the exact words. And so I started speaking the truth and going, no, that's not what you are. And I'd have to do it in front of a mirror, because that's when the "you stupid bee" would come into my head. So I would go, no, you are, like for me, it was Christian things. So I would say, no, you're a child of God. You're set apart. I'd say things like that. But you could say things like, no, you're valuable. No, you were made for a purpose. You're beautiful. You're a kind, loving, gentle human being. Whatever it is, speak that over yourself. You were made for great things. You have hopes and dreams, and they're valuable, and you're valuable. And, so speak those things over yourself, because the negative talk in your head is horrible, and it just plays and plays and plays, and it affects how you live. But I'm here to tell you that you can get out of that cycle by starting to speak the positive over yourself. Speak the truth of who you are. And inside there's something that says, yes, I'm made to shine. Last thing, I know this got long. Okay, so the last thing is, I had some people and they were kind of over me, so to speak, and they would say things like, kind of essentially, quit trying to be such a big shot, or like that kind of thing. Like I needed anyone to tell me that, because I always struggled with that myself. And so this one time I was watching this show. It was a stupid show, but in the show there's this woman, and she was actually a star, like an actual space star. And so she's on Earth, and whenever she was happy, she would shine. Like she'd start to just emanate this shininess. And so someone said to her, I don't know if you're aware, but you're shining. And she just smiled this big smile, and she went, I'm a star. That's just what I do. And I felt in that moment that God said to me, Maria, that is you. You're a star. You shine. That's just what you do. And I want to say that to each one of you. You are meant to shine in whatever capacity that might look like for you. But we're all meant to shine. We shine in different ways, but we're all meant to shine. So that is it. I hope you have an amazing week. I hope that this was helpful. Maybe share your encouraging stories, or maybe one of your struggles. And honestly, if ever you are really struggling with something and you want prayer, just go over to my Instagram. It's linked down below. Go over to my Instagram and send me a DM, and I will pray for you. I want to see you succeed. I want to see you be all that you can be. And so we all have cares and worries, and for whatever reason, I have a little bit of a platform, and I want to use it to bless you guys. So anyway, that's it. Yeah, my hair is falling out. What do you do?